Epson, welcome. We've got Jeff Eldon, the Corporate Account Manager of the West, here to present from Epson. Thank you so much for being here. As a reminder, we have our Q&A open and it's been quite active, so thank you to all our attendees for posting your questions, and we are monitoring those questions throughout the presentation. Jeff, thank you so much for being here. We're excited to have Epson. Take it away.
All right, everybody hear me okay? Good.
Yes.
Thank you for the opportunity, everyone attending, and thank you, LightWerks, for your partnership. My name, Jeff Eldon. I'm the Enterprise Business Development Manager for the West Coast. Because I do so much high-tech business, I end up doing a lot of business globally as well, establishing standards. And kind of following the same lines as what Gary had said earlier, we're in the business of making big, bright, and efficient images with our projectors. But before we talk about that, let's talk about Epson very briefly. So it always surprises me when I talk to a customer and they think of Epson as a projector company or just a print company. We actually employ over 2,000 employees in 10 countries. This is a picture of our new Los Alamitos campus in California, where we're based. And we actually do a lot more than just printers and projectors and scanners. We do all of these other things, home and office productivity with our print devices. We also make commercial industrial printers. And what I think is kind of cool, we make the robots that make our product. That's kind of cool. Projection, this is from the image you see in the background is from our corporate office. And here in the projection slide, you can see the person sitting in front of one of our projection displays right there in the main entrance to the office. We make micro devices, and a lot of people don't know when we talk about Epson, you may hear us say things like SEC. We're not talking about the Security and Exchange Commission. No, it's Seiko Epson Corporation. So we make timepieces as well. But we are talking about projectors today, and we have a massive portfolio of projectors to fit your every need. We have different lumen outputs from 30,000 lumens all the way down to 2,200 lumens, and everything in between with different resolutions as well. So if you have a solution that needs a projector, we have an answer for you. All of Epson projectors use what we call 3LCD technology. We make our panels. The reason we use 3LCD is because accurate color really matters. For me in my space, I work in a corporate setting. A big company like Google or Microsoft or any of these massive companies spends a lot of time and energy creating their logo, their brand. And it's important that that brand be represented correctly and appropriately. And so, as you can see from this slide, we do color and we do it really, really well. That's why we do 3LCD. Laser light source, this is kind of an industry trend. We do sell a lot of lamp-based projectors, but clearly the industry is moving towards laser light source. There are so many advantages. This is just an example of kind of what our laser light source looks like. 30,000 hour life, low cost of ownership, and instant on-off. We'll talk about some of these other features as we get into more specifics around what we can do. The bottom line is, we are not your grandfather's projector. We are making our projectors smaller, brighter, lighter, less expensive, and more efficient than they've ever been to create these big immersive images. Big images, bright images, efficient. That's what we're about. This is kind of a snapshot of what it used to be and what it can be. And a lot of people are talking about the future. I think the future is now. We're in the future already. And what you can see here is all the content. You really need a bigger canvas, if you will, to show everything that's going on. Gone are the days where you can just run through a PowerPoint and have nothing else on screen. That's very true in the corporate space. Epson projectors do all of these things. I think everybody presenting today is going to show a picture of Teams front row. So I have to make sure that we show a few as well. We've been working with them since the beginning. We've actually designed some projectors specific to these spaces. We're going to talk about those as we go through the presentation. And most importantly, these projectors work seamlessly with all of our partners on this call from all the other brands that really bring this room together. Move through a couple of these slides, kind of just repeating the same thing. Carefree, easy to use, see and be seen. We've talked about all the meeting space equity, and that's a really big buzzword. It was interesting to see in Gary's presentation some of this front row stuff, but then the back row stuff as well. I haven't seen as much of that actually in play, so it was nice to see that these meeting room spaces are really changing and evolving to meet the needs of the customer. And of course, whenever we're selling stuff, the unlikely event of service needs or a problem happening does happen from time to time. And I will tell you that Epson's service department is best in class. I've been with Epson now for 5 years. I've had a few instances where I've really needed to go to them and do something extraordinary to make sure that we do the right thing for the customer, which we will always do. So in the unlikely event that something happens, rest assured we've got best in class service to take care of it and to take care of it quickly. Now moving to kind of other spaces. What we talked about previous was kind of the corporate space, but there are other spaces where we can really show a difference. And this is some slides. There's next few are some slides from our faith based marketing program that we're really targeting to meet the needs of that particular channel as well. The same things apply. The Epson 3-chip LCD technology is truly stunning and helps create that immersive, engaging environment for people to really want to bring them into the office or into the meeting place for whatever faith they may want to be part of. They're brilliantly lit. We have high lumen projectors all the way up to 30,000 lumens. We have the smallest, lightest, brightest, least expensive product in 10,000 lumens and 20,000 lumens as well. So again, whatever you need from a lighting standpoint, from a brightness standpoint, or from a resolution standpoint, we've got that projector to fit your needs. And of course, it's reasonably designed, knowing that this projector will work. It will turn on when it's supposed to turn on, and it will work the way we say it's going to work. Bottom line is, our projectors help create experiences that bring people together. We've got affordable prices. We've got long-lasting product, reliable product. It really is best in class in every setting. And then, of course, there's education. Gotta love this. The big screen, education displays is really where we dominate. And that space is ever changing. I'm a corporate guy, but let's talk about education a little bit, because guess what? They're doing meetings in these spaces as well. This is really where bigger is better, seeing more, learning more in these spaces. We have some examples of that. Here's a 75-inch display next to a 160-inch display, roughly almost 5 times as big. And you can see the massive difference, especially in a larger setting, classroom, boardroom, training room setting, is really where the projectors show their big advantage. And they're versatile, so never get boxed into one space. With our projectors, we can create immersive spaces. We can blend multiple projectors together. You can create multiple screens within one projector, so you have lots of options to create your space. And you want to use the wall, don't lose the wall. In some cases, you put a device up, that device becomes the wall. With our device, you can use it, or you can turn it off and use the wall. So you have more flexibility. And of course, black and white is so boring. Let's brighten it up with color, full color whiteboards. We can use half the whiteboard, and the other half we can use for black and white for writing and taking notes. Just makes for a better learning experience. And we're getting close to a new product you can see here in this display that allows you to take big ideas almost anywhere. And we're going to talk more about that when we talk about this product that's shown here in our product showcase. You can, of course, with our projectors, you can do interactive, collaborative, send, save, share content, allow people to come in, add notes, and then send those notes out to everyone after the presentation is over. We use that in classroom applications, training room applications as well. This is just another example of how image size and visibility does matter. You can see here 75-inch, 100-inch, and then all the way up to 160. And then you talk about versatility. Our projectors can do 4x3. You can believe that. We still have some government applications where they need 4x3. So we can do that. 16:10, 16:9, and even 16:6 in some of our projectors, which is unusual. Most importantly, for meeting room spaces, we were the first to do 21:9 aspect ratio in our projectors. We have 29 projectors in our line that do 21:9 aspect ratio. Wasn't by design, just lucky math. And there's more coming out every day. Well, not quite that soon, but next year you'll see even more. It's important to note that we can do all of those aspect ratios. And then we can also, with that, every model that does 21:9 aspect also does auto source sensing. So when you walk into a room, you plug in your notebook, it recognizes that, the projector turns on. When you unplug the device, you walk out, the projector shuts down. So seamless application of use of that space. And then you can still use the whiteboard if you want, or you can use half the whiteboard. Very, very creative. Of course, connectivity, all of our projectors, many of them will do built-in with Wi-Fi and casting, so other participants can join the meeting and show their content. Now, I did say we were coming out with new models. This year alone, we've come out with 13 new lamp-free models, which means these are laser devices. These devices started shipping earlier this year and continue to ship throughout this fiscal year. Now we're getting into the product showcase. We've had several short throw displays in our lineup, but we need to raise the bar a little bit more. So now we're going extreme ultra short throw. Let's talk about it. So there it is again, another front row space, another collaborative space. How can we use a projector that's light, bright, and easy to use in these spaces? The new projector we came out with this summer is the PowerLight 810E. Comes in black and white, 5,000 lumens, has 4K enhancement. These are all the speeds and feeds. What's important to note here is it's very flexible and very easy to use. And it's the first projector that will actually show, I have some images in the next coming slides, where we're competing directly with flat panels. We've never done that before. So the first brand to actually show a projector side by side with a flat panel. Let's take a look. This projector from 1 inch away gives you an 80-inch image. That's pretty extreme. It's 4K enhanced, it's HDR. You want a bigger image? That's okay. Just move the projector slightly back from 14 inches away. You've doubled the image. Now you have a 160-inch screen for that immersive experience. Very easy to use. Here's a couple of shows. If you're at Infocom, I think ISTE was the other show. We actually showed our 810E in a configuration right next to a 75-inch flat panel. Very high light, immersive, very high light coming into the booth. And so typically that's, a problem for projectors. The external light coming in, can wash out the image. As you can see from these images, that's not the case. Side by side, you can clearly see the much larger image actually looks cleaner, clearer, crisper than the flat panel next to it. Another example of how you can use this, you can use it in a typical application for like a front row, Teams room maybe. You can even put this on a cart. So if you wanted to put this below a screen and have an 80-inch cart rolling around, you can do that. This particular model weighs under 30 pounds, so much easier to put that on a cart and roll it around than a heavy flat panel. It does have audio. We're not big on putting audio in video devices, but in this case, it's warranted. If you want to do a standalone setup, we have not one, but two 8-watt speakers to provide that sound for the meeting experience. This is the interface. We've got HDMI inputs, HD-Base-T, everything you need to get your meeting rolling. And it's flexible. We can mount these below, which is typically what you would do with this projector. You can even mount it left or right if that's what you wanted to do in portrait mode. I was joking with somebody one time. They said, that's 5,000 lumens. I'd like something brighter. Can you do that? And I said, yeah, just double stack them. Well, how can I double stack if the projector's shooting on the top? Put one on the top, one on the bottom, line them up, you've got a double stack. So creativity again. We have two models of this. We've got the professional model, the 810E and the 815, that's just black or white. If you'd like a home theater model with a little bit more robust sound system, you can go with the LS800. You can see the comparison of the two, but again, we offer you the flexibility to get what you need for the space that you need it in.
Jeff, I think you're on mute.
How about now?
That's much better. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, my screen locked up. I went on mute. Cats and dogs living together. It's chaos. This is kind of the wrap up of the 810E, the two different models. Easy setup. We've actually got an app that helps you calibrate and set up the screen. 4K enhanced image processing, 80 to 100-inch display. It's got all the speeds and feeds that you need.
Uh-oh, Jeff, looks like you muted again.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, you're back on.
Yeah, but I can't. Helping. Computer lockup. Hold on a second. I'm gonna stop sharing and then reshare.
No worries. What would a technology virtual trade show be without a few glitches?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not letting me go through my slides now. I don't know what's happening. It won't let me exit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just have to stop sharing from there. And I'll try one more time.
I have a note here. It says, I think if he keeps hitting the space bar instead of the arrow key to advance the slide, the space bar may be muting his mic.
Correct. That is correct. Yeah, let's try one more. Get back. Fabulous. Progress. So here's
Terrific.
some examples. So here's some examples of our product in use in different applications. So you can see here projectors in what looks to be a gymnasium, multiple projectors in a classroom. You've also got some stuff going on here at esports, where you've got gamers gaming, and they've got projectors behind the monitors, so you can actually see what they're doing. And then on the right, you've got multiple projectors blended together in another kind of immersive full-length wall experience. Speaking of immersive, a lot of this stuff going around where we've got multiple projectors in a room kind of surrounding the participants. Just another example of ways to use our projectors. Here you can see we're actually shining a projector from the ceiling down to the floor. And then this was at a show where we've got people playing an interactive game with one of our high lumen projectors and an ultra short throw lens. We didn't talk much about document cameras, but we make those too. So if you have questions about those, reach out to any of us and we can get you answers and get you the right product for that space as well. This is an example of kind of what used to be. Everybody's lined up in that shoebox bowling alley, looking down at the screen at the end. That's really changing. Again, front row, there's so much more content. Everybody kind of needs to be in that space where they can all have that meeting space equity, right? And then lastly, the Epson experience, you can see here, it's large, ultra wide, seamless. And I've listed all of the different campaigns that we have here on the last slide, along with, of course, our website at epson.com. It's an amazing website, has all the answers. Play around with it if you haven't. You can really get a great an idea of what Epson can do with all of our products from this space. And then if you want to reach out to me, of course, all the LightWerks folks know the most important person to you is Karen Smith. She's your main point of contacts. I help Karen almost every week. We talk about a new project or new opportunity and work together in that way. And so if you need any answers, reach out to either one of us and we can get you answers on anything Epson. And I think that about wraps it up for me. Got any questions?
Thanks so much. We do have some questions. Jeff, thank you. We have one here. Can you, actually, here's another one. Are any of your projectors designed for fine art applications?
It's interesting that you say that. I just did a project in Scottsdale for the Scottsdale Museum of Contemporary Art. And we actually had artists come in using our projectors and create their vision with multiple projectors in the space. In one case, they had multiple projectors in the ceiling, and they used the floor as their canvas, and they did mapping and they did sensors. So as you walk across the floor, the sensor recognized you, and then the canvas that you're walking on reacted to you being there. In another case, they used an immersive multiple walls where they just created their artwork. And so we're seeing more and more of that. And it's another reason why the 3LCD really matters, is because we can be color accurate and show what the artist's vision is in the correct colors.
Thanks so much for that, Jeff. Great answer, and how appropriate that how timely that you had just engaged in a project like that. And super interesting how the projectors were sort of interacting with people's stats. We'd love to hear more about that later. Can you image blend with multiple extreme short throw projectors?
You can indeed. So I'm trying to think of a model that won't allow you. I'm sure there are some, but with few exceptions, all of our projectors can blend together. You can blend as many of those as you'd like. We've got Epson software, which actually helps you do that, which makes it a little bit easier as well. But the short answer is yes.
Thank you. Is the laser diode serviceable or replaceable after 5, 10, or 15 plus years?
Yeah, we get that question a lot. And again, we can do that, but by the time that part of the projector fails, we'll probably have something smaller, brighter, lighter, and less expensive. It'll be cheaper for you to just buy the new unit.
Is there software available through Epson to allow overlapping images to become a single concurrent image for a classroom application?
Yeah, we have, it's actually free software, if you can believe that or not, that will help you do blends and stacks. So if you're stacking 2 projectors, you can actually stack up to 3 in many cases if you needed to. And this software will help you line up the pixels, if you will, to do that stacking and double and even triple the projector brightness. It's not a true triple because every time you do it, you lose a little bit. But again, yes is the answer. You can stack, and we have software to help you do that.
Do the projectors require a special screen? Will they work on a white wall?
I have shown our projectors, sold our projectors, and seen our projectors light up on just about everything. So it depends on the application. Again, the answer is yes. If you want the best image quality, you spend the money on a screen. If you don't have the budget for that and you want to shine it on a wall, it will work. It always looks better on a screen, but you can put it on a whiteboard, you can put it on a wall, you can put it on the floor, you can put it on carpet, all of these things on a window. All of these things have been done.
Thank you. You had mentioned document cameras and that you were available to speak to those. Can you describe what kind of applications you're seeing document cameras being used in?
Yeah, so again, most of it's classroom settings. Believe it or not, I do sell a few of them to corporate settings as well as some sports teams, NFL, NBA, that kind of thing. So there's different applications. We have 3 or 4 models. I think one of them is even 4K. If someone is interested in that, we can talk more directly, see what the specific application is, and get the right doc cam to fit those needs.
Terrific. And we do actually have another question here related to that art installation and the technology that was used to create the interactivity. Can you describe that?
So it was, it was our projectors, short throw lenses, and then it was third-party sensors, motion sensors that were paired with them to kind of make the projectors act and react, and then they put their content in there as well, so that when someone enters the space, different effects happen.
Terrific. And from what I understand, you have quite an amazing headquarters that we are able to bring our customers to. Is that correct, Jeff?
That is true, and we'd love to have people come by the Los Alamitos office. This is the main entry in my background here. On the other side of this screen, we've got the same kind of image constantly changing. You walk through those doors, and then over here, through this door, we have what's called our VTech, and we can bring your customers in and give them a true in-person, live, immersive experience and really show them what our projectors can do and really think outside the box.
And we can speak from experience. I can speak from experience. Epson, you're terrific hosts and quite I've had the incredible, great, good fortune of visiting your space, and seeing is believing. It is absolutely gorgeous, and you truly do get a taste of what the capabilities are and just how immersive it is to view some of these projection spaces. So thank you so much, Jeff. And yes, as a reminder, if you want to visit the Epson space, please do let us know. They're excellent hosts. I do see one more question here. Can you talk more about the Epson light scene projectors and how they can be used in office settings for wayfinding?
Yeah, so I use those in a lot of applications like a wayfinder, digital signage. I've sold to convention center spaces. It acts very much like a track light, and actually can be powered by that track light if needed. They're standalone devices. There's an SD card in them, so you can load your content, put it in the device, and light up a space. If you want, you can blend them together. You can have them connected together so they all do the same thing, or you can do them independently. They also have a clock in each one of them, so you can tell it to turn on at 9 o'clock and turn off at 5 o'clock, and then repeat. So Monday through Friday, if you've got an office or a space that's open, it can turn on at 9, turn off at 5. The weekends, you just tell it to shut down, it stays off. So a very cool, very unique, very niche product. It's only 2,200 lumens, but I would tell you that anybody who sees it in action can't believe that it's so few lumens, because it's very focused on what the image is, and gives you really more than that 2,000 lumens would lead you to believe in the spec. Very cool, creative device.
Thanks so much, Jeff. Well, it is now time for our giveaway. Again, thank you so much to Jeff and Epson for that wonderful presentation and for going ahead and answering all those Q&A questions. We have here a printer, Workforce Pro WF 4820 wireless all-in-one printer from Epson. This is a high-performance business printer, and we're thrilled to be able to give it away. So Jeff, if you don't mind picking a number between 150 and 200 this time, we want to get some of those later numbers.
Oh my gosh, that's a big number. So I was going to go with prime time number because I'm a Colorado Buffs fan, but because there's so many people, I'm going to add a 1 to it. Let's go with 121.
121. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the winner of this Epson Workforce Pro WF4820 wireless all-in-one printer is Cole Roloffs. Cole Roloffs, congratulations. You are the winner. Cole's from SDSU. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you again, Epson, for this terrific giveaway. It's now time for Crestron. We have Matt Olson, the